All right, peace. So, what I'm going to be talking about today is kind of stemming from a series that I've been watching on Prime Video. Coworker of mine and a good friend of mine, and also a good brother of mine, Coach Gore, Coach Quentin Gore. He turned me on to it. So, the series that I'm referring to is The Godfather of Harlem, starring Forrest Whitaker. And I'm just going to touch on it briefly, which is the reason why I'm making this video. So if you haven't watched the series, I would suggest that you watch it. It is a good series. And I think they're going to come out with a third season. But in that series, I watched how Bumpy Johnson in the series had to adapt to certain situations as it pertains to the empire that he was trying to build. And I also watched him go from trying not to be a criminal into being a man who was upstanding and righteous, which he walked a thin line because sometimes he would have to, cross back over into that criminal element. And then towards the end, I think of the second season, he was pulled back into that shit in order to survive what was coming down, the road in the upcoming years. Which leads me into what I'm going to be talking about today, which is dealing with AI. So now, dealing with AI. That shit has been on the rise ever since the first movie that depicted robotics, artificial intelligence. They have been grooming us for this shit for the past 2, 3, maybe 4 fucking decades. You saw that in the movie Terminator. What else? It was a movie that Matthew Broderick played in. What was the fucking name of that movie? But anyway, the movie, if you guys know what I'm talking about, put it in the comment section. But the movie was based on the fact that he ended up tapping into, I think, this military program, and the AI took over to the point where it was going to destroy the world by releasing the bombs, rockets that all of the different nations had built, and it was going to release those weapons, and it would basically, bomb the whole planet. So, with looking at these movies, that's not the aspect that I want to deal with. I'm looking at AI from this particular aspect, and that's dealing with the wealth gap as it pertains to money, as it pertains to jobs and things of that nature. And for the most part, everybody is going to be affected by this. But when it comes to black people and poor people, whether you're black, brown, white, yellow, doesn't matter. You're going to be affected by this shit the most. So with me watching this series, and the universe is always talking to me and trying to warn me about shit. With me watching this series, because this is not the first time that I watched it, this is my second time watching it, I started looking at it from a different perspective, and I started tapping into the shit where I was like, okay, it's time for you to get your shit together. And with me, I'll get into some things and then I'll start fucking procrastinating. And I have good ideas that could have made me thousands, if not millions of dollars. The problem was I needed a fucking team, and could never put a team together, not because I didn't have a good idea or because my pitch wasn't that great. It was because the people that I was pitching my shit to, they couldn't see the fucking vision. And so now that got me to the point where now I don't even want to work with motherfuckers. I'd rather do this shit dolo. But although I do know dealing with reality, I am going to have to pull some people in, and hopefully I'll be able to find those people who are like mine. But for the past couple of years, man, that shit has been fucking down to goddamn zero. Because for the most part, motherfuckers don't want to do shit. They just want to talk. So dealing with this whole AI shit and the wealth gap that is growing between the have and the have-nots, I'm not getting ready to get caught up in that shit. My family right now is on vacation. They went to the beach this weekend. And my daughter, she called me. She was like, "Dad, are you coming down here, before we leave?" And, I had told him earlier during the week I was coming. But looking at shit, studying shit, thinking about this movie, I was like, no. I got to get that frame of mindset back that I once had when I was being forced to pay child support for kids that I was already taking care of. The child support always has a downside, no matter whether it's a man or a woman paying it. But for me, I looked at it from two different points of view. I looked at it from the negative side, but I also looked at it from the positive side. And what was the positive side? For me, it made me a beast. It made me an animal as far as being a go-getter. And from the time that I stopped paying child support up until now, I found myself noticing that I don't have that drive no more, that instinct, that animal instinct to go out and just be ferocious with how to get the shit that I need in order to survive. So when I stayed home this weekend, that drive picked back up after watching the series, The Godfather of Harlem. And then that led me down a road to where there were some things that I got into, but I didn't get into it like I should have, the way that I get into the whole science thing. And now I'm back on track with that. And the way that I study science as it pertains to the body, I'm going to study this shit that way because I see now where the fucking world is going. And me personally, I'm not trying to die at fucking 70 or 80 years old, which is kind of like the average lifespan of people here in the United States. I'm trying to live well past that. And I used to say that I want to retire. Nah, fuck that. I want to keep working, but I want to work based off of how the fuck I want to work and doing the things that I want to do. So that means I'm going to be working up until the day someone puts me in the fucking dirt. So where am I going with this? Like I said before, there's shit that is going on to where jobs are leaving, blue collar jobs, white collar jobs, especially white collar jobs. You're seeing layoffs across the fucking board. And that shit is going to trickle down into blue collar jobs. All blue collar jobs are not going to go away. All white collar jobs are not going to go away. But for the most part, them bitches are leaving. And if you don't learn to adapt to what's coming, you're going to be left behind. I'm not getting ready to get left behind. And I'm not getting ready to be poor. Although these past couple of months, I made some decisions, looking back on that shit in hindsight, that I shouldn't have made, that kind of fuck with my money a little bit. But I know how to get that shit back. And now that I got that animal instinct back, that animal drive back, the money that I had before, I'm going to triple, quadruple that shit in the next couple of fucking years if I'm allowed to stay on the fucking planet. So one of the things that I've been looking into, that I'm getting into, which I had started studying it years back, but now I'm all in that shit. That's the reason why I did not go to the beach this weekend, because my goal is, number one, to be not fucking comfortable. I want to be fucking rich. Now, I may not get there, but if I keep the mindset that I got, I'm going to get there. I want to be comfortable. I want to be able to go when the fuck I want to go, where I want to go, how I want to go. I want to look at my fucking bank account, my checking, my savings, and my brokerage account, which I have not started yet, but that shit will be started before the month of August is over with. I want to be able to look at all of that shit as well as the other assets that I'm working on, because I also buy precious metals. Right now, I'm investing in silver, and I've invested in gold, and I want to get into real estate. I'm trying to take all of these different avenues of income and take that shit to the next level every day, every week, every month, and every year. I'm not getting ready to, if I can help it, get caught with my dick in my hand like a lot of people are going to do. So one of the other avenues that I'm trying to get into, which is buying stocks, selling stocks, trading stocks. I got a plethora of information that is here. My mentor gave me this book a couple of years ago, so I'm gonna show y'all some of the books that I'm reading now. This is called The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. This is one book. Then you got How to Make Millions in Real Estate in 3 years starting with no cash. That's this book. You got Robert Kiyosaki with Michael Maloney, A Guide to Investing in Gold and Silver. It's this book. You got Rich Dad, Poor Dad. Everybody knows about this book. It's a good book by Robert Kiyosaki. That's this book. You got this is an old book that I got from my dad, which I got a couple of old business books, but the information in it is still valuable. But we're gonna also have to upgrade my literature as far as business is concerned. But this is still a valuable tool. And I got one other book I got to show y'all. Hold on for a second. All right. This book right here, Trading for Dummies. So these are some of the books that I'm reading right now. And I'm reading these books because I'm realizing that, one, I don't know how to write a motherfucking code. I'm not an engineer. I don't know how to build shit. None of that. But what I can learn is this. The businesses that come up out of those types of disciplines, these Fortune 500 companies that already exist and the ones that are on the rise, what I can do is invest in those fucking companies and buy as much stock, trade as much stock as I can to build my portfolio up to the point where I am financially stable. My family is financially stable. My people in my tribe, giving them that information and teaching them that information, we are financially stable. Everybody else, fuck them. And the reason why I say that is because of this. Y'all already know I'm a pro-black motherfucker. I've been kicking this shit since I've been on these goddamn apps. YouTube, I have a YouTube page. I'm on TikTok. I'm on IG. I'm on Facebook, which I don't really fuck with Facebook no more because out of all the fucking information that I've put out, people comment on my shit and I'm grateful for that. I don't know if y'all necessarily listen and take the shit that I say to heart, but like I said, I appreciate y'all. But at the same time, being in this whole fucking conscious movement and trying to help black people, it is so tiring and exhausting to the point where you lose focus on what the fuck you need to be doing. Now, one of my objectives is to take us to the next level, but you can't take a motherfucker to the next level if they don't want to fucking go. And that's what I've been seeing over the past couple of years to the point now where I'm like, fuck the black community. Not as a whole. Only those that don't want to do the fucking work. The complaining, all of the bullshit that we do, I'm done. I am done with that shit. And I'm tired of hearing motherfuckers complain about it. It's all right to talk about the shit if you're going to put in the work to change the fucking conditions that you are probably in or that our people are in. But just to constantly keep talking about it, man, y'all can get the fuck out of here with that shit. Case in point, there's videos floating around right now about white people, I think in Arkansas, that have chose to build a white community because they want to preserve white culture. And you got black people that are saying all kind of dumbass shit, even to the point where they like, you know, that's where they need to go. And I'm like, I don't give a fuck about that. Whatever them people do, that ain't got shit to do with us, not unless it directly affects us. But what we need to be doing is studying what the fuck they're doing. And if we want to preserve our culture, why not do or duplicate what the fuck they're doing? You got small pockets of our people that are doing that, and kudos to them. But for you motherfuckers that always complain and say the dumb shit that y'all say, you are the individuals that we need to excommunicate like we on some John Wick shit. Because y'all are the ones who always hold us back. And that's why now I'm not dealing with the black community as a whole. I'm only going to deal with those who think like me, who are on my fucking level or a level above me to the point where I can rise to that level and learn shit from them. And I can also teach people as well. But other than that, I'm done with this whole black movement shit, man. Just like there's some groups that I'm in, and no shade to those groups, but just like when we go on fucking maneuvers, or we used to go on fucking maneuvers because one of the groups that I'm in had that shit like it's non-existent now. How the fuck you go out on maneuvers and you ain't got no goddamn tech support? Now, for those of you who have been in the military, still in the military, anytime you go on a fucking maneuver to where some shit could pop off, you got tech support. Wow. That tech support is your extra ears, your extra eyes, so that they can hear and see the shit you can't fucking see. So now, with those groups that I'm in, if we going up against this motherfucking power structure and these motherfuckers decide to move on us, you cannot defeat that shit. But here's the downside to the reason why you can't defeat them. In order for the powers that be to be as powerful as they are, they had to build that shit up by making fucking money. The reason why black organizations that are supposed to be, how can I say it, militaristic in nature, the reason why they fail and they do not progress is because nobody wants to deal with the business side of this shit as far as making fucking money, so that the weapons that you need, you can get them. The technology that you need, you can either hire those individuals or send those individuals to school to learn about shit like that, so that we can have engineers in those organizations to build fucking weapons. There's a statement that was in the Black Panther movie, the first one, by this dude named W'Kabi, where they was trying to figure out if they was going to send the war dogs out or not. And W'Kabi, everybody disagreed with what Killmonger was saying. But W'Kabi, and I'm paraphrasing, he was like this: the world is changing. The other nations are catching up. And he was like, I would rather be the conqueror instead of the conquered. That's the way I'm fucking thinking now. Meaning, they got to start taking their shit to the next level. Why? They're not the only motherfuckers in the goddamn world that can build shit. They're not the only motherfucking people in the world that have smart individuals that can think, that are innovative, and that can see the fucking future. But when you look at the black community as a goddamn whole, we don't even look at shit like that. We're always playing catch up. And then when someone comes to speak truth to power, we throw that shit to the motherfucking curb. But then y'all want to concentrate on what the fuck these white people are doing. Who gives a fuck? Kudos to them. That's the shit we should be doing. You want to get mad at the Asians when they treat us bad and whatnot, but you don't support black-owned businesses that are actually putting in the fucking work. And then we sit back and we complain about shit. So now I know I kind of went off a little bit as far as what I'm getting into, and I'm not gonna make this video too goddamn long. I'm already 18 minutes in. But one thing that we can do, if you're not gonna get into the tech industry, if you're not gonna be an engineer, one of the ways that we can level up is learning this shit. Get into stocks, get into bonds, get into CDs, get into all of this shit to where you don't really have to do some physical work. Only thing you got to do is buy the stocks, learn how to trade the shit, know when to sell, know when to hold. Yeah, it's a volatile industry, but how in the fuck y'all think these people that we call the millionaires and billionaires, or just rich people, period, how in the fuck you think they got to where they got to? And then with them doing shit like that, that opens up other avenues for them to invest their time, their money, and their expertise into other shit, which brings them not just one bag, but several motherfucking bags. So that's the shit that I'm into. That's the purpose for this fucking video. So if you have learned anything from me as far as the things that I've put out, then with this particular video, take what I'm saying to heart, because at the end of the day, the world that we know, as far as now, 5, 10, 15, 20 years from now, that shit is a wrap. Hell, you can look to this time next year, and I'm willing to bet you that what you see now is going to be totally different. I'm going to end on this note. My criminal justice professor, Miss Terry Waheed, love this sister, beautiful sister, outside and in. She had came to St. Paul's one day on her way home, which is where I live at now. And I saw her in the Walmart store, that grocery store that we was in. And, you know, we got to talking, and we talked for damn near a whole hour. We had forgot about what the fuck we went in there to get. And she said, how we got into the conversation, which is dealing with what the fuck I'm talking about now. She was like, I want to do something with you. I was like, okay, well, what's up, Miss Waheed? She was like, I want you to look in this store. I want you to look. And she pointed me to a specific direction. And she was like, tell me, what the fuck do you see? So I'm looking. And, you know, I don't get it. So she was like, they got one register open with an actual person that is there. And she was like, I was in another Walmart where I was telling this young lady, you know, I'm going to go to your register. And the lady was so goddamn adamant about redirecting her. You know, she was like, fuck it, I'm going to just go head on over to the self-checkout. But what she was trying to tell the lady was this: do you not see what is going on? I'm trying to deal with you face to face with a real person, because what they're doing is they're phasing you out to the point where they don't actually need you. So they had one motherfucking register running, and all the other things that they had going on, that was the fucking self-checkout. And that's where the goddamn lines was at. That's where this automation shit comes in at. That's where AI comes in at. And it's constantly evolving every fucking day. But because this chick didn't understand what the fuck she was talking about, she is going to be like a lot of people that I'm talking about right now that's going to be left out in the motherfucking cold. And then when they realize what the fuck is going on, it's too goddamn late. Because even when you realize what's going on, they done took the game to a whole nother motherfucking level to where you're still playing goddamn catch up. I'm not going to get caught up in that shit. I will advise you not to get caught up into what the fuck is coming down the pipe, because it's coming. The only way you're going to be able to stop that shit, and you're not going to be able to stop it, is if you build a counter culture, a counter reality to the bullshit that's coming down the pipe. But for the most part, that shit is not going to happen. People are so goddamn smart that they're stupid. And what I mean by that is this, and I'm going to end on this. The people who are building all this AI shit, that shit is good. It should be used to better society. But for the most part, it is going to cause more motherfucking harm than good, because you got stupid ass people that are so goddamn smart that you're building some shit that if you don't use it properly, it is going to cause our fucking demise. And with that being said, I am out. Until the next video, constantly study, man. Constantly read. Study your surroundings, the people that you come into contact with. And if them motherfuckers is not on your level or a level above you, if they have nothing to offer you, why the fuck are you fucking with them? Leave them bitches alone and deal with people that can offer you something physically, meaning keeping your temple straight, so that the things that you want to accomplish and enjoy, whether it's your family, a business venture, whatever the case may be, you can accomplish that shit because you are of sound mind and sound body. And on that note, like I always do in most of my videos, I salute y'all, peace, and I'm out.